3. Understand JavaScript functions. Part C.1, I want to talk about the questions of quiz 1. And next part, I will talk questions of quiz 2. All right. First two questions. Question 1. Which of the following projects resulted in internet? Very easy, straightforward. Yeah. So you can easily find the answer in our notes. All right. Yeah. ARPANET. Yeah. Question number 2. In order to make the internet withstand our enemies' attacks, which of following ways should we use to make it more robust? Decentralized way. Yeah. So remember, we used aircraft carrier, Ford, the compartments, right? Yeah. So use that idea to understand this decentralized way to protect the internet. All right. Question 3. Yeah. Ray Tomlinson received a magnificent internet application project from his boss, which resulted in email application. Yeah. So that is a big story. Yeah. So here, for the question like this, because there is one thing I noticed, our video watching rates are not very high. Yeah. So that means many students did not watch the videos. So I think when they answer these questions, they just use PowerPoint notes. They try to find answers either from notes or from textbooks. Yeah, I don't know if they use textbooks or not, or from web. Okay, just find the answer. Yeah. So they miss the video explanations. So that is not good. Yeah, because a lot of something relatively deep we explain in videos. Another thing is, if you just try to find answers, so usually you cannot memorize things well because you do not have the impression. When you study the videos, so you follow the story from beginning to end. So that part, the whole story becomes your background, right? So with that background, so a lot of things you can memorize naturally. Okay, yeah. So here, the story in this one. So if you follow that story, the email story, Ray Tomlinson, his boss didn't give him project like this. So he worked on this project based on his own interest. So, or we can say it was his own project. He wanted to do this project. He felt this project was important and he wanted to find a solution. Okay, so that was the story. Yeah. All right, so false. Okay, yeah. When Tim Berners-Lee invented the web, what kind of computer was he used as the web server? Another story. Web inventor, Tim Berners-Lee. So remember that black station, Apple, Next computer. Yeah. All right. Question 5, is it possible to run Java programs in the Apache HTTP web server directly? So here the main thing is directly. Yeah. Answer is no. Yeah. So I explained that. So HTTP Apache, this server, this is a C server. Okay? Yeah. Developed in C programming language. Yeah. So you can run PHP in it. Yeah. PHP is the main programming language running in Apache server, yeah, but not Java. So you cannot run Java directly. And I also said there is a module you can install inside Apache to create some communication bridge. Yeah. In that way, you can use, through that module, you can call, Java programs or Tomcat, connected to Tomcat. Yeah, actually, you still connect to Tomcat. So that module allows you to connect to Tomcat. So Tomcat can run Java programs. So in that way, so even we can do that, we do it indirectly. Okay, indirectly. So there is a way to do it indirectly through that module bridge connected to Tomcat still. So you can see, yeah. All right, so this one, you need to follow the story. Yeah. Yeah. And some of the answers, you couldn't find answers directly from our notes. Yeah. Because sometimes I talk about some stories, so then when I design questions, I base on those stories. Yeah. Yeah. But, some students may try to find the answers from web, although you can do that, but, many times may not be successful. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Question number 6. The Tomcat Web Service was used as a production server, the key word, when it was created at the late 1990s. Yeah. Answer false. Why? So I explained that. Not a production server. At the beginning, so we call the reference implementation server, right? Reference implementation. Server, okay? In other words, experiment server. Experiment to used to test the Java servlets technology, servlets specification. Specification, yeah, because at that time, the servlets technology was just, written on paper, document. So nobody knows if it works or not. So for that reason, the Java team, they create this implementation server to show people this technology actually worked. Yeah. So that's the reason it was created. So that means the quality was not very good. Yeah. Because it's not a production server. The quality was not very good. So it cannot be used as a production server in early years. Only after the Tomcat version, starting after version 4.0, then it was good enough. After that, Tomcat was, very solid, good enough to be used as a production server. Okay, so right now we have version 9. Okay, version 9. Yeah. Okay. All right, so that was the story behind Tomcat. Yeah. All right. Number 7, a user has to know the IP address of a server so that he or she can type it in a web browser to connect to. Not has to. Okay, so now it has to, because IP address, nobody can memorize. Usually, nobody can memorize it. So what people can memorize the domain name of the server. Domain name. So people just type the domain name in the web browser bar. So then remember the DNS server, after you type it, send it you DNS system, because that's a whole system. The system will get your domain name resolved and send back IP address. So that's the whole story. All right. Question number 8. Which of the following formats is used IPv4 version of IP address? We know that, so you can visualize that structure in your mind. So then you can answer easily. Dot decimal, right? Dot decimal notation. Not hexadecimal, not colon. No. So that's IPv4. IPv6 colon hexadecimal, right? IPv6 colon hexadecimal notation. All right. Question 9. Which of the following system is responsible for translating the domain? DNS, right? I just talked about that. IIS web server, Apache web server, TLD, top level domain, right? Top level, root. So this terminology used in this, when you use the DNS to translate domain name, first you need to start from the top level, right? Root, root, top level. So that's the meaning of that. But that's not the answer. So answer is this, DNS. All right. Question 10. Can we say that HTML for writing web pages is a programming language? So here, programming language, the answer is no. Okay. So here I want to, describe what do we mean a programming language. When we talk about programming language, if we want to say some language is a programming language, it can process data, right? Program can process data dynamically, right? Dynamic data, not static data. Okay, so it should be dynamic. Right, dynamically process data, and it should have the control logic. Right? Programming language, you need to have the control logic. If, else, while, for loops, right? So those typical programming language constructs. And HTML not present static content, not dynamic, static content. Format, present. No programming logic, no control logic, no dynamic features. Okay, so for that reason, we cannot call HTML programming language. In a precise way. The reason some laymen, some people who are not familiar with IT technologies, so they may treat HTML as programming language. That's possible. Coding, right? You do coding. But for our computer science major students, so we know, strictly speaking, we cannot characterize it as a typical programming language. Yeah. All right, so that's the quiz 1. So next time I will explain quiz 2, 10 questions. Yeah. All right, so that's it.